Hello, Reece speaking.
Hi Reece, it's Howard J. Foster here from Camden Town Radio.
It's great to meet you, mate. How you doing?
Hi, nice to speak to you. I believe you're in the UK at the moment?
I am, yeah.
All right, great. So, do you want to tell us a bit about your background? Were you born in Australia?
I was. Sunny Australia. I'm in London at the moment, and it's grey. Although it's actually blue a little bit, which is nice. Goes between blue and grey.
Yes.
Constantly. Yes, born in Australia and kind of developed my skills there. And it wasn't until about my mid-20s, I think, I started to explore the UK, really.
Yeah.
Mostly because I had a Hungarian passport, which let me come back and forth a bit easier.
All right. Is it a Hungarian name, your second name?
Yes, so Szabo, it's Szabo.
Oh, yes.
My sort of artist-producer name.
Ah.
Yes, it's very, very Hungarian, actually. It's
Right.
one of the most common names in Hungary, I've been told.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, but I don't speak Hungarian. I went there once. It's a very nice place. But yeah, it just made sense to take the last name. It's really hard sometimes as an artist to come up with a name that actually means anything.
Yes.
Instead of just picking a random word. So
Yes, okay. So you've gone. So Szabo is your artist name.
yes.
Yes. All right, that's great. And did you say it was the 90s you first came over to the UK, or?
When did I first come here? My mid-20s it was. So
Yeah.
a few years back. Yeah, and I came over. I had some friends here who were in the scene, and I was exploring a bit. I was working with Newton Faulkner, actually.
Ah, yes, we've read about it, yes.
Yeah, so I'd done a tour in Australia supporting him, actually, on another project, and then I thought I'd just come over, catch up with him, and check out the scene here. It was all self-funded, kind of put everything on the line to get myself here, and then made the move in April of last year, and I've been here since. It's London or Berlin or LA. It's kind of one of those three. If you really for what I do, which is more of the sort of pop crossover EDM stuff.
Yes.
I think you have to be in Europe, personally. I think that.
Yeah, so coming on to your style, are you very much now in the electronic dance arena?
I am, yeah. I definitely didn't grow up on it. I'm an anomaly, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
I kind of fell into it by writing for a lot of DJs. So when I first came to London, I just found myself writing songs for other DJs because they're always looking for vocalists and for songs, and I was working with a lot of singers and writing music, and so that's how I got into the world, really. And then eventually I got a little tired of just writing songs, so I started doing remixes.
Okay.
And because I'd just been producing more pop music up until then, and then I started doing sort of dance remixes, and then had some success in Australia with those, had some remixes chart and do really well on radio and stream into the millions on Spotify, and that was really exciting.
Yes. Okay, yeah, so you've been a collaborator up until this point, but you've just released your own single.
Yeah, I just thought it was time. I still write for other people, quite a lot, but I would definitely say that it's a great time to be an artist at the moment.
Yes.
And if you can create your own fan base, and because distribution is pretty much global now, and there's nothing in the way. If you can create a fan base and you have the distribution, you can win, really.
Yes, and I believe you had an EP out on the 15th of March, is that correct?
Yes, I did. It was an interesting one, that. It was a remix package that I did myself.
Right.
Yeah, it isn't something I think is normally done.
Okay.
Which is why it's maybe sparked some interest from people. But, I mean, the basic sort of process is you release a song, and then if you're working with a record label or you've got some contacts, you get they'll organise to get other people to do alternative remixes into different genres. It might be a trap version or whatever. But anyway, I sort of was waiting around people to get back to me. We'd asked a few bigger names, and there's a lot of red tape involved with that.
Yes.
Financially, it's not easy to achieve. And I just woke up one day and my manager said to me, "Why don't you just do it?" So I just remixed myself. Really,
Okay.
I did a sort of a version that's much more house. I did like an up-tempo club mix and some extended mixes, and then I did an acoustic version that was down-tempo. Kind of all sorts, because just so they'd appeal to different audiences. And funnily enough, I think I actually like the house remix that I did better than the original that I put out.
Oh, right. And how many remixes are on the EP?
I think there's 5 all up. Including the original, there's 5, I believe.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. It's a difficult process. It's not easy to rethink something you've already done.
No. And was the original track, did it have vocals as well? Or?
Yes, it did. So that was it was a collaboration with a Russian vocalist actually named Dilla.
Yes.
And it was through a new Swedish and British record label called Nexar Music. So they put us together actually. They flew me to Sweden and they flew her to Sweden from Russia.
Yes.
And the song was already written. It was written in Sydney with an incredibly talented songwriter named Gemma Lyon. So we wrote the song together, and then Dilla ended up doing the feature vocal, and it came out through Nexar Music.
Okay, yes. And in terms of the remixes, does it have Dilla's vocal on all the remixes?
Yeah, I did an instrumental version, but we never released it because I'm just not sure it's something that people would really want to listen to.
Yes.
Just an instrumental in that context.
Okay.
But yeah, it's her vocal. It's just kind of faster and then slower. She did do a new vocal actually on the acoustic version that's quite stunning.
Okay.
It's just a very interesting process where you take a song that is something and then you strip away everything except the vocals.
Yes.
And you realise you can just do anything with it, really.
Yes, that makes sense, yes. So in terms of putting these records together, is it the case that you always work with another person as the vocalist, or are you ever the vocalist on records you work on?
No, I wasn't blessed with the ability to sing,
Right.
but strangely the ability to write music. It's a weird one for me. But I actually genuinely believe I'm always better when I collaborate. So I think I think that it's actually my strength that I can't sing, because if I could sing, I'd probably just sit in a room and make music completely by myself all day.
Yes, I suppose you might have gone down a different path, perhaps a singer-songwriter.
Yeah, and I did play around with that idea in my sort of late teens and early 20s. To be honest, because I was sort of heavily influenced by the sort of pop rock sound of Coldplay and those kind of bands. And I was like, maybe it's that I'm... But ultimately, I was always just a songwriter first.
Yeah.
And so since accepting that, it's really flourished for me. And I think collaboration is a scary thing and it's difficult. It's quite confronting, but ultimately, like, I would say that rarely brilliant songs are written by a single person. I mean, I don't even know any off the top of my head.
No.
I think the best in the world understand that collaboration is key.
Well, you go back to some of the great songwriting partnerships. I mean, probably the most famous of all being Lennon-McCartney and
or Simon and Garfunkel.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, maybe Brian Wilson's the exception from the Beach Boys. He just did it all and was like, there it is.
Yes.
But he was something else.
Yes, but no, you're right. I mean, there has been a huge number of successful collaborators over the years, and some of the best songs have come out as a result of collaboration, certainly. Yes.
Yeah, and it's something that people can shy away from as well. I think that has to do with being a little bit insecure, and which I understand, because like I said before, it is a bit confronting. But if there's any singer-songwriters out there listening who haven't experimented with it, I would suggest that they definitely try it.
Yes. And what's the best place for people to find out about your music and projects? Do you have one main website, or? Yeah, so you can just go to szaboofficial.com. Again, it's SZABO. Yeah.
If you search Szabo Music on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, you'll find me. Spotify as well, and YouTube. I'm on all of them. The label did a great film clip, actually, for the song that's on YouTube. So
yes.
I'm super active on Instagram, though. I've got to say that's the platform for me at the moment.
Okay. And what's your handle on there?
It's Szabo Music.
Okay, so how would you say the British music scene compares to when you were in Australia? You've touched a bit on that, but could you tell us a bit more about the differences?
Yeah, I mean, geographically even speaking, it's so spread out.
Yes.
So it's really, and it's such a vast area, but then you've got all these little segments everywhere, and so that can prove difficult, I think, on the touring side.
Yes, that makes sense, and I guess certainly in the UK you can tour very quickly around the UK in all sorts of different towns, whereas, as you say, in Australia it's kind of a plane flight to the next big city.
Yeah, and I mean, America's the same. I know bands that just tour tour California and Los Angeles. It's that big.
That's right.
You know? They're not really capable of doing that. I find it incredible over here that there can be artists in France that are doing massive sellout shows and nobody else, we don't even know who they are in Australia. You know, but all these other European countries are there's so much going on, and I think the festival scene, especially on this sort of dance EDM side, obviously in Europe, is just enormous.
Yes.
For some reason, the Brits just seem to be tastemakers. I even feel like America looks to a little bit as to what's coming next and what is happening.
Yes, I think that happens quite a lot, that things start out here and then end up going across the world.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, recently there's been a lot of Australian exports. You look at Sia and Dean Lewis, and there's quite a lot. Troye Sivan. There are Australians doing amazing things.
Yeah.
I just kind of find that as soon as they pop, they leave the country.
Okay.
They're out. Leave Los Angeles, or they wind up in London, and that seems to be the pattern.
Yes, plenty of opportunities over here for getting out performing, and also in Camden Town itself.
Yeah.
Have you explored Camden Town at all since you've been over?
My studio's down in Brixton, so I'm down in South London at the moment.
Yeah.
I have definitely spent some time there, probably a few hazy late nights, I can't quite remember. But seeing more live music is definitely on the agenda for me. It's just trying to balance it all. It's, people are so hungry for it in this game, and you have to work so hard. So every opportunity that you have to be working or being in the studio, you take. So your social life tends to minimise.
Yes, it can be, certainly, yes. Well, I think one of the venues in Camden where your music may go down well would be the Electric Ballroom. Have you been there before?
Right, I've heard of it, yes. No, I haven't. Get down there and start sussing it out.
I'm quite interested, you worked with Newton Falconer. What was it like working with him?
Well, I worked with him on various levels. So it began when I was asked to play guitar for a support act that was opening in Sydney. That's how I met him. It would have been early 2012 or so. And we got along great. And then he came back for an Australian tour, and I was, as I mentioned, doing more of a songwriter thing.
Yes.
And so I toured Australia with him in a duo.
Okay, yes.
Opening for him. We were signed to a small independent label in Sydney, and I was kind of going down that route. And
yes.
we kept in touch. I was obviously a massive fan. He's absolutely brilliant. So before we became good friends, I was a huge fan. And then we were, then one day I had this song. I was like, man, I would love for you to sing this. It was at the time when the remixes in Australia had sort of taken off and were doing well.
Yes.
And I felt like now's as good a time as any to ask an artist of his stature to work with me.
Yes.
Because it is about, when you're friends with these people, it's about respecting their brand and what they've achieved and the level that they're at. And so I felt like I was in the right place to ask, and he responded actually, and he quite liked the song. So we're in line together to put out a track. It'll be a Szabo track featuring Newton Faulkner.
Okay.
And we're also working on something else that I've got to keep under wraps for the moment.
Right.
But I'd love to have another conversation with you when I can talk about it. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
But then last year, maybe March, he was on tour in Australia, and they flew me down to Melbourne to do a writing session with him because he was looking for a new single for his Best Of album.
Okay.
That he just put out. And so we hadn't written together before, and we had about 2 hours in a hotel room in Melbourne, and we just came up with this chorus out of nowhere. And then I flew over to the UK a month or so later and finished it off with him and his brother. And that song's called Don't Leave Me Waiting, which was one of the lead singles off his Best Of album. Yeah.
Speaking of musical style and so on, who would you say, you've already touched on it a little bit earlier on, but who would you say are your main influences?
On the songwriting side or the production side?
Both really.
I'd have to say in the last few years it's been Kygo.
Yes.
I just think that guy is brilliant. I mean, if Kygo is one behind Kygo, you never really know. These bigger names, these bigger brands, but from what I've seen, he is seriously talented. The list is endless. I think Armin van Buuren's amazing. Martin Jensen is another great producer I listen to.
Yeah. The new EP, Go Do You, which features 5 alternative mixes and the vocalist Dealer. It was out last month and it's available on most platforms, did you say?
Yeah, all of them.
All platforms.
All platforms, yeah, it's everywhere.
All right, oh, that's great. Okay, right, now at this part of the show we're going to do a feature called Favourite 10.
What's your favourite?
And that involves, as it sounds, going through 10 things and finding out your favourite. So, are you ready?
I am. I'm nervous, but let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Favourite drink?
Espresso martini.
Favourite food?
Halloumi.
Favourite band?
Radiohead.
Favourite song?
God Only Knows by the Beach Boys.
Favourite instrument?
Piano.
Favourite country?
Australia. It's got to be.
Favourite singer?
It'd probably have to be Tom York.
Favourite sport?
Does table football count?
Yes, you can have that. Favourite place?
Let's go with that.
Favourite place?
Favourite place? Fiji.
Favourite dance?
Favourite what?
Favourite dance?
Dance. Oh, God, I can't dance, so skip.
That's it, you've completed a set in less than 1 minute.
Hi, this is Szabo on Camden Town Radio. I hope you'll get a chance to check out some of my new music soon.
So go do you, so go do you, so go do you. Watch you come and go again. Tell me why you're leaving. Maybe I'm too much woman for your man. You love me, you judge me, you brave on the phone. But now when I get you alone, why don't you go do you? Maybe I'll do me too. I don't need to know why you see me as someone weak. Time to let it go. I'm not what you think, washing off like king. I'm brand new, so go do you. I'll do me too. So go do you. 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 I'll do me too. Watch you go and play pretend. Ask me how I'm feeling. Tell me something real, or will you let me down again? You love me, you judge me, you brave on the phone. But now when I get you alone, why don't you go do you? Maybe I'll do me too. I don't need to know why you see me as someone weak. Time to let it go. Why don't you just let it go? I'm not what you think, washing off like king. I'm brand new, so go do you. Cause I don't need to know why you see me as someone weak. Time to let it go. I'm not what you think, washing off like king. I'm brand new, so go do you. I'll do me too. So go do you. 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 'Cause I don't need to know. No. No. 'Cause I don't need to know. No. Cause I don't need to know why you see me. As someone weak, time to let it go. Why don't you just let me go? I'm not what you think, washing off like king. I'm brand new, so go do you. I'll do me too. So do you. So go do you. So go do do. So go do you. So go do you. So go do you.